Right, well, it is now confirmed that Star Wars Outlaws was a bomb. And Ubisoft are not very impressed by it, of course, but they are running damage control. But this is just the video game industry in a nutshell, really, isn't it? Bury your heads in the sand and just embrace the DEI and ESG. Why not? That's where we're at with video games. Just ridiculous. And then you've got, Space Marine 2 enters the chat. Smash hit success. Because it's just a good game. Anyway, let's take a look, right? So Ubisoft has had its, first half 24-25 earnings figures report. And that report reveals that Star Wars Outlaws, quote, underperformed sales expectations, despite achieving, quote, solid reviews. Which is not a massive surprise, to be honest. The people that were primed to like it, liked it, and they bought it. It just goes to show that the people that invested their money in it were the ones which were the target market. That's the best way to describe it. It's like Morbius, right? Morbius had good reviews. No one watched it, though. Same kind of thing. So the company revealed that its net bookings came in on the low end of its revised expectations. They revised it way down as well. So the second quarter, it was 352.3 million euros, which is really not good. Originally, they wanted 500 million euros. But then they bumped it down to 350 to 370 million euros. So, quite a big drop. Quite a big drop. And they obviously attribute that to Star Wars Outlaws sales being soft. And X-Defiant also underperformed as well. So speaking specifically to Star Wars Outlaws, Ubisoft reported that the game, quote, underperformed sales expectations. Despite this, Ubisoft attempted to spin the game as a positive. I don't know how, but okay. They said the game achieved solid reviews and user scores across first-party and Epic stores, reflecting one of the most impressive expressions of the Star Wars universe ever created. Right, okay. So it doesn't really matter if no one's playing it. What are you talking about? It then detailed that the company is attempting to improve the quality of the game. You can't, on one hand, be like, yeah, people really liked it, actually, but we need to improve it. What? Teams are fully mobilized on implementing changes to enhance game mechanics and overall polish. Since launch, the team has delivered 3 title updates focused on quality of life features and bug fixing, notably improvements in stealth mechanics, NPC AI, and save features. And again, this just goes down to that age-old thing with video games at the moment, is at the end of the day, just release a bloody completed game. No one wants to pay over $100 for a game that is fundamentally broken on day one. No one does it anymore. Very few people do it. But essentially, no one does. Three updates, and you still got more to go. That's bad. So from there, it claims these changes have delivered, quote, tangible results, but does not share what those are. Excellent. But instead claims it has seen, quote, meaningful community sentiment improvement. Well, that's bad, isn't it? Because it just goes to show that the community behind the game were like, yeah, this is pretty crap, actually. And then you make changes, you're like, oh, this is better. You should just release a good game. So those words are meaningless, given Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot used similar words while attempting to defend, at the time, analyst estimations that the game would only sell 5 million units in the first quarter, and the belief that was a low number. Guillemot said back in July, what we have factored in is a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws. It's not happened though. That reflects the fact that it is among the most awaited games of the industry, by what metric, and a really strong positive community sentiment. Who? And also the fact that we are coming with the biggest marketing campaign ever so far for an Ubisoft game. So that's what we've been factoring into the second quarter. I mean, that's just embarrassing. And I thought this was interesting. Stock's not doing very well, is it? I mean, it's never really doing well. It sort of started to peak here. I think this is when the rumours were coming out. Oh no, so this is 5 days. So what's this, 29th October? So when did it start to peak? It started to peak when they were thinking they were going to sell it here. It must have been around here, you know. Because there were some reports that they were going to sell it and go private or something like that. So it started to peak, but now it's just going back down again. I mean, this is not good, is it? In one day, down nearly 4 points. In 5 days, down nearly 2 points. in a month, yeah, it's gone up. But you look at 6 months, down nearly 40 points. Jesus. Not good. So it's been rumoured that the game sold around 1 million units in its first month, with Insider Gamer's Grant Taylor Hall writing, "We've secured a current sales figure from sources close to the game. At the time of writing, Star Wars Outlaws has just ticked over 1 million sales worldwide. However, all public metrics indicate that the game's sales completely stagnated soon after the game released," which makes sense. The real like take home for this, which will be fascinating to see, will be when they release it over on Steam, because they're releasing it on Steam very, very soon, actually. I say very soon, like, was it like a month or something like that? I think it's in the new year. I can't quite remember. But that'll be the real reveal, right? They're hoping for a second wind on the game. They're not going to get it. But yeah, that'll be quite telling, quite interesting. There's more from this, by the way. So he also decided to not answer a question about whether Star Wars Outlaws sales have improved since launch, which is again quite telling. So Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot completely and utterly avoided a question about whether or not sales for Star Wars Outlaws have improved since launch. Good times. So in the company's first half 24-25 earnings figures report, it revealed that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed sales expectations, like I've just covered. They say this: the most significant update yet will be released on November 21st with the 4th title update. That will include further improvements to combat and stealth. I thought you'd already done them. And will launch alongside the release on Steam. So there you go, releasing on Steam next month. As well as the first story pack wildcard with fan favourite Lando Calrissian from the original trilogy. This should engage a large audience during the holiday season and position the game as a strong long-term performer. So anyway, basically an investor from BMO was like, hey, on Star Wars Outlaws, it's off to a slower start than you guys wanted. Can you provide a little colour into the sales curve there more recently? Have you guys started to see things pick up? Can you talk about any discounting you might be doing or strategies for discounting into the holiday period? Would be helpful. And he just says, on Outlaws, what we can say is that the 3 title updates that we've delivered at the same time, we've been observing substantial positive community sentiment improvement. The biggest update is still to come, and it will come on the same day as the first big story pack and the launch for Steam. So we're putting ourselves in a position to have a must-play game that should address a mainstream audience for the busy season. And also be a long-term set. So you didn't even answer it. What the fuck? It has great quality and the team wanted to make sure that we will improve a few frictions and then implement some gameplay mechanics that will certainly delight the players. Yes, we'll be planning some promotional support throughout the busy season. We didn't answer it, did you? That's terrible. Anyway, there you go. We'll find out next month just how bad it is. Because those sales figures over on Steam, we'll be able to look at the player count, you know, all-time peak, etc. It'll be fascinating. I mean, it's going to be so bad, but it will be funny. So there you go, Ubisoft. Just completely up shit's creek, aren't they? Like, let's be honest here. Year to date is hilarious. Look how bad they are. 1 year, nearly 50 points. 5 years, 75 points. I mean, this is terrible. Jesus. Anyway, there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know. Love to hear it. Those articles are linked down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.